SeaWorld Orlando. Early afternoon in Orlando. Post-show, the stands are emptying, the pool glassy as a mirror. Veteran trainer Dawn Brancho kneels on the edge platform. Routine interaction, inches of water over concrete. Below her, 12,000 pounds of black and white muscle surfaces. In one sudden break of water, Tillicum seizes and yanks her in. Radios explode. Staff throw nets, bang gates, extend lunge poles. The control room cycles pool partitions, trying to isolate the whale without panicking him. But minutes stretch. Tillicum refuses. Trainers on catwalks whistle, signal, toss targets. Nothing buys release. Spectators still lingering watch the surface boil, then go still, then boil again. Sirens draw closer. Time, underwater, is the enemy you can't bargain with. Recovery happens only after containment. Medics work on deck, but the readout is merciless. The autopsy later lists drown and extensive blunt force trauma, fractures, soft tissue damage, consistent with prolonged submersion and forceful handling by a massive marine predator. Accra Zoo, lion enclosure intrusion. Late afternoon heat over Accra. Visitors drift past shaded aviaries. Cicadas buzz. At the lion habitat, a man climbs where no one should. Over the outer fence, across a service trench, and into the inner zone. Motive unclear. Security cameras catch him crossing the scrub. The pride's male lifts his head, then rises with that slow, terrifying certainty cats have when territory is breached. Radios crackle from the gatehouse to the animal hospital. Keepers sprint with air horns and shields but hold the line. Stepping in risks igniting a full charge. The man backs toward the concrete den, hands out, eyes locked on the cat. In seconds, the lion closes. The lionesses wheel, and the enclosure is all dust and motion. Tranquilizer rifles are requested, but chemistry cannot outrun claws and mass. Police lock the perimeter. Staff bang doors, open a shift pen, try to draw the animals with meat. The noise swells, then falls. Cause of death, catastrophic neck and torso trauma with rapid blood loss. Pittsburgh Zoo, African painted dogs. Late morning at the African savannah. Families crowd the overlook, leaning for a better view. A mother lifts her toddler onto the waist-high rail. Just a second to see the painted dogs moving below. He squirms, slips. A short fall, a bounce off the safety net, and then the unthinkable. He drops into the exhibit. Alarms crackle across radios. Keepers sprint, then stop. Pack predators are swirling around a child. One wrong step from an adult could trigger a charge. Tranquilizers are prepped, but chemistry moves slower than panic. Police are on the way. The dogs don't wait. The stadium hush breaks into shouts. A mother screaming his name, whistles and banging, trying to distract the animals. The scene is all bad options. Entering the enclosure risks more victims. Firing inside risks hitting the boy. Teams use poles, noise, doors, anything to fragment the pack. Seconds feel like hours. A shot rings out. The chaos thins. When responders finally reach him, there's no pulse to find. Investigators retrace the overlooked design. Cause of death, massive blood loss from multiple bite and tear injuries after a fall into the painted dog enclosure. San Francisco Zoo, late afternoon, Christmas Day. Visitors drifting toward the exits. Winter light fading. In the Big Cat Grotto, a 350-pound Siberian tiger named Tatiana clears a perimeter that will later test short of modern height recommendations. One leap, a bad corner, and the enclosure is no longer an enclosure. She locks onto 3 young men near the moat. Panic fractures the group. 17-year-old Carlos Souza Jr. goes down first. His friends bolt toward public buildings, shouting for help and drawing the cat away. 911 lines tangle with conflicting reports. Fight, animal, injuries. For crucial minutes, staff and police have to locate both the victim and the predator before they can move. Responders stage with long guns, lunge poles, and flashlights. The search ends near the cafe, not the exhibit. When Tatiana re-engages, officers fire. The animal drops. Medics sprint past spent casings to the teenager. There's nothing left to save. Cause of death, catastrophic blood loss and trauma from tiger bites and mauling. Salzburg Zoo, Rhinoceros Attack. Early chores, Austria. The rhino barn smells of hay and disinfectant. Concrete floors washed down. Gates clanking in their tracks. A 1.8-ton white rhinoceros named Yeti stands in a narrow stall. Two keepers, partners at work and at home, prep a routine parasite treatment. It's close quarters husbandry. Calm voice, steady hands, ointment dabbed on sensitive skin. A target stick to guide a shift of weight. Then the second that flips a day. Yeti flinches, maybe at the sting, maybe at a sound outside, and lunges forward. In a space measured in inches, momentum is fate. The female keeper is pinned against the stall structure. Her husband dives to pull her free and is thrown aside. Radios burst, doors slam, alarms echo down the corridor. Staff work the guillotine gates, try to create a buffer, try to draw the animal back. Seconds pass heavy and loud. When responders reach the pair, the math of mass has already decided it. Cause of death, crushing trauma, likely chest and abdominal compression with internal organ damage. Franklin Zoo, Mila, the elephant. Quiet afternoon, New Zealand. Inside a holding yard, head keeper Helen Schofield works beside a 39-year-old African elephant named Mila. An ex-circus animal the team has been gentling toward a calmer life. No crowds, no showmanship, just routine positioning, cues, and trust inside a familiar space. Then, the moment that undoes the plan. A shift, a startle, a half-step that closes distance. Mila surges her weight forward. In a breath, Helen is pinned against a solid structure. Thousands of pounds moving through one narrow gap. Radios flare. Gates bang. Keepers shout for space and calm. By the time first responders reach the yard, colleagues have already begun CPR. The scene is controlled. The elephant contained. But time has run out. The inquiry that follows is clinical and unforgiving. Free contact methods placed a human within striking distance of megafauna. A stall's geometry left little room to roll or slip free. Familiarity masked the risk curve of an animal whose body can kill without malice. Cause of death, crushing trauma, likely chest compression and internal injuries consistent with being pinned by a multi-ton elephant. Kolmarden Park, wolf enclosure. Summer weekend, Sweden. Before opening, a 30-year-old keeper walks into a wooded wolf enclosure, standard at the time for socialized animals. She carries a radio, calm voice, practiced cues. 10 gray wolves circle, curious, close. Then something invisible shifts in the pack's hierarchy. Curiosity becomes pressure. The radio falls silent. Alarms crackle. Staff converge but hold at the gates, entering risks, creating more victims. They bang on metal, trigger doors, try to funnel the wolves with noise and targets. Tranquilizers are staged, but chemistry is slow and wolves are fast. The enclosure winds through rocks and pines. Line of sight breaks. Seconds stretch. Teams lure the animals away section by section. When they finally reach her, there's no rescue left to make. Investigators reconstruct the morning. A lone entry, habituated predators, and a social group that can pivot with small status changes. Cause of death, massive blood loss and shock from multiple wolf bite and tearing injury, consistent with a prolonged pack attack before responders could safely intervene. If you enjoyed this animation, please subscribe for more and support my small channel. Share your ideas for the next video in the comments.